Hello guys, welcome to my channel. Pledge of shares of an insurance company, a discussion on IRDAI clarifications. Introductions. We have in our recent post discussed the clarification issued by the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India IRDAI in relation to transfer of shares of an insurance company. These clarifications were notified pursuant to the circular issued to all CMDs and CEOs of insurance and reinsurance company on July 22 and 2020 circular. However, this circular also discusses certain critical issues relating to creation of pledge over shares of an insurance company. Below is a summary of this clarification provided by the circular in relation to pledge of share of an insurance company. These transfers include creation of an encumbrance. The term transfer of shares of use in connection with shares of insurance company has been ascribed a wide definition under the IRDAI transfer of equity shares of insurance companies regulation 2015 transfer regulations. The definition is as follows: transfer of shares includes transfer of shares from existing shareholder to another person and includes transformation and fresh insurance of the equity shares which lead to change in the shareholding pattern of an insurance company. Even though this is an inclusive definition, neither the Insurance Act 1938, Insurance Act nor the transfer regulations provided for adequate clarity on whether the term covered an encumbrance over shares of an insurance company in the form of a pledge. A pledge in itself does not result in any change in shareholding in the insurance company, but simply allows the pledge to sell the pledge shares on the pledge core failing to meet its obligation in connection with which the security was created. Of course, industry participants and stakeholders have been aware that pledging requires prior IRDAI approval. However, there was always lack of clarity on whether this approval should be taken at the time the pledge was created or the time of exercising the pledge. The regulator view in relation to this matter eventually come to be tested when in 2019 the IRDAI called into question a pledge created over the shares of Reliance General Insurance Company Limited (RGICL) by its promoter and 100% shareholder Reliance Capital Limited (RCL). How the matter come up to the IRDAI? RCL had pledged its entire shareholding in RGICL in favor of IDPI Trustship Service Limited (IDPEI TSL) as a security against certain borrowing encouraged by RCL and its group companies. RCL Group in October 2019, even the RCL Group devoting IDPI TSL invoked the pledge on shares of RGICL and RGICL informed the IRDAI but the invocation of pledge. To this, the IRDAI, by way of certain orders passed in December 2019, IRDAI December orders decided that the invocation of the pledge followed by the transfer of RGICL share to IDPI TSL was in violation of Section 6A of the Insurance Act and hence null and void. Admission IDPI TSL along with the financiers appealed against the orders passed by the IRDAI before the Securities Appellate Tribunal (SAT). In this submission before SAT, the appellants contended that IDPI TSL as a debenture trustee has not only taken possession of the share of RGCL as a consequence of invocation of the pledge and that there was no actual transfer of share of RGICL. It was further contended that the exercise of the pledge did not allow IDBI TSL to exercise rights as a 100% shareholder of RGEICL, and IDBI TSL also did not intend to exercise control of voting rights in RGICL or make any changes or have a say in the management or decision-making process of RGICL. The appellant also clarified that IDBL TSL will take prior approval of IRDAI before transferring the pledged shares of RJICL to any third party. IDBI TSL had also furnished an undertaking to this effect before the IRDAI. At the time of the personal hearing before the IRDAI, a similar undertaking was also furnished by IDBI TSL to SAT. Based on the undertaking furnished by IDBI TSL to IRDAI at the time of personal hearing, the IRDAI, based on of the date February 4, 2020, acknowledging that IDBI TSL was holding the share of RGICL as the trustee only, and the said share had not been transferred to IDBI TSL. The order passed by the IRDAI further clarified that IDBI TSL would be required to take IRDAI's approval prior to transferring RGICL shares to any third party. The SAT order on February 27, 2020, the SAT, after considering IRDAI order on February 4, 2020, and the submission made by the appellants, set aside the portion of IRDAI finding that the transfer of pledge of the shares in question are null, not void, ab initio. February order. Further, director IRDAI TSL to make an application before the IRDAI for taking its approval for transferring the pledged share to a third-party buyer. SAT made it clear that as long as IDBI TSL is holding share in the capacity of a trustee or custodian, it will not be allowed to exercise any control over IRGICL. However, in passing the aforementioned direction, the SAT clarified in it is order that it was not ruling on whether the word transfer, as depicted as per the provision of Section 6A of the Insurance Act, would also include any form of transfer of sharing, include a pledge. It is to be noted that the SAT February order is restricted only to the point relating to violation of Section 6A of the Insurance. Clarity brought about by the July 22 circular, the question whether pledge constitutes transfer of share under Section 6A of the Insurance Act and the transfer regulations has now been settled by the IRDAI by way of the circular. The circular has clarified that provision relating to transfer of shares as contained in Section 6A of the Insurance Act and the transfer regulations shall apply mutandis to the creation of a pledge or any other kind of encumbrance of shares of an insurance company by its promoters. This signifies that a pledge or encumbrance on shares by the promoters of an insurance company do not require prior IRDAI approval if the pledge is created over shares in excess of the shareholders prescribed in Section of the Insurance Act. It is pertinent to note that prior IRDAI approval will not be required if a non-promoter shareholder proposes to create an encumbrance pledge of the share of an insurance company. Someone answered the question and the road ahead. The circular leave a few questions unanswered in relation to pledge of share. For example, whether the subsequent invocation of the pledge's share by the pledge will require a separate IRDAI approval, particularly in instances where, upon invocation of the pledge and Prior to arrangement, the pledge proposed to exercise voting rights in the insurance company or have a say in the management or decision-making process of the insurance company. Another open question is whether a non-promoter shareholder will be required to take approval of the IRDAI at the time of application of the pledge, or will the IRDAI simply rely on the requirement of approval the time of enforcement, given that typically non-promoters are those with shareholding of less than 10%. Okay guys, thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoy it, and don't forget to share this video to your friend, to your family, and to your someone love. Goodbye.